Hey, what's going on, guys? This weekend we got UFC 312 taking place in Australia. We got Sean Strickland fighting Du Plessis for the middleweight belt. And in the co-main event, we got Weili Zhang defending her strawweight title against Tatiana Suarez. And at first, I wasn't going to do a video about this just because like I had a lot going on between like family stuff, work, jiu-jitsu and all that. But then I took another look at the card and I realized like, how like underrated it was and how slept on it was. So I decided like I'm just gonna go through it real quick and just like give my thoughts and opinions on the main card. And the first fight on the main card, we got Jake Matthews taking on Francisco Prado. And Jake Matthews, he's gonna go into this fight being the longer, rangier guy. He likes to kind of keep the fight at a distance, at range, where he kind of zips in and out with his combos. He's good. He has good leg kicks. He's fast. But something I realized is that I was just rewatching some of his fights, and I noticed like if he's going against someone who can like pressure him, he tends to get put on the fence a bit more, and he'll get like caught just a little bit more, especially if it's someone a bit more his size, which Prado isn't. But Prado definitely he likes to keep the pressure on. He likes to keep the volume up. Prado has like good boxing, good combos, and he's gonna be a little bit. Like I said, he's not the same build. He's gonna be the shorter fighter, which I think will allow him to get close the distance even better. Because like once he's in the pocket and he closes that distance, he's really strong, good combinations. But like one of the big issues with him is he telegraphs a lot and he throws like really big like looping punches, which if the opponent has a read on him, he can kind of like zip like in and out, which Matthews is good at. So I feel like if Matthews can kind of keep the distance on Prado, he'll obviously he'll get more points on him and everything like that. If Prado is able to put the pressure on Matthews and really close the distance and get in the pocket, I can see it being finished by Prado with a knockout. But if it goes the full 3 rounds, I got to give this one to Jake Matthews. And the next fight of the night, we got Jimmy Crute taking on Rodolfo Bellato. And in this fight, I feel like Bellato he's gonna have the size advantage. He's gonna be stronger. He's gonna have success with his front kicks, his teeps, which he's pretty good at utilizing. He's strong in the clinch. He's decent in the pocket. He has some decent pressure. Some of his grappling, that'll basically not allow Jimmy Crute to have success when he shoots on him, because he likes to do shoot takedowns and stuff like that. I don't think he'll be able to have as much success against someone like Bellato, who's going to be bigger and stronger. Plus, Jimmy Crute, he's pretty sloppy with his takedowns. He tends to shoot with his head on the outside, which he got caught in a guillotine one time from that. And he has and he has low output. So I feel like with his low output and his pretty sloppy wrestling, I think Bellato is going to have a lot more success in this fight. He's definitely going to be the one who's putting the forward pressure on in the fight. I think his size and strength is going to allow him to have the advantage in the grappling, which will keep the fight on the feet. And I think that'll lead to Bellato landing more volume, and I think he'll get the decision in this fight. I don't really see anyone getting knocked out or finished. Maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of see Bellato winning this one by decision. All right, and then the feature fight of the night, we got Justin Tafa taking on Texeria. And when I first saw this fight, I was a little confused as to who Taliesin was. But then I remember seeing them on the Contender Series, and I just remember them being super tall, super rangy, and he has knockout power. He has decent movement for a heavyweight. I think with all that in his favor, going against someone like Tafa, who's kind of only on this card so he can fight, in Australia. I feel like this is Texeria's chance to kind of get his name out there, kind of get a little crowd going. And I see him winning this fight. I don't think it'll be very easy. I think it'll be a little bit of a back and forth, a little bit of a dogfight. But I think his range and his reach is going to really help him be able to exit and get him while he's exiting, So yeah, I see Texeria having more success on the feet, and I think it'll lead to a first or second round KO for Taliesin Texeria. And the co-main event of the night, we got Weili defending her title against Tatiana Suarez. And this is one of those female title fights where we have a dominant champ and all the odds are in her favor, you know, like everyone's expecting her to win. And I have a feeling that somehow, one way or another, like Tatiana Suarez, like she's gonna get it done. And I wouldn't say she's as big as an underdog as, like, you know, someone like Pennington or even like Pena. Is, to me, it's kind of similar because she's going up against like a dominant champ who most people think is going to win. And I feel like she's going to come in as the underdog and completely upset the entire place, you know, because she has the grappling, she has the striking, she has all of that to kind of compete with Weili. With all the odds being stacked against her, I just feel like this is one of those upsets, like we saw with Shevchenko and Amanda Nunes. But on paper, Weili is the faster, stronger fighter. She has the better grappling. She has the stronger grappling, obviously. She has real good striking. She's just a complete MMA fighter. Everything an MMA fighter should be. I don't really see her losing this fight. I see her having some challenges in the wrestling because Suarez is a good grappler. And I do think the grappling will make this fight stay a little bit more on the feet. With it being on the feet, I think it'll be more of a back and forth. But I kind of see Suarez just slightly outlanding Weili. And if anything, I even see her taking her back and submitting her, you know, which I don't want to see happen because I really enjoy seeing Weili fight, especially as a champion. Seeing her dominate everyone has been, like, you know, an incredible thing to witness. But I feel like her time is kind of coming to an end, and I feel like Tatiana Suarez is going to win this one by decision, if not a late round submission. And the main event of the night, we got Sean Strickland challenging Dricus Du Plessis for his middleweight championship. And this is a fight that's been kind of like, I wouldn't say anticipated by the fans, because the first one was a little bit of not much of a barn burner. I've heard a lot of people say they'd much rather have seen Hamzat fight for the belt. With their first fight out of the way, and looking back at the stats, I do see like how people could have scored it for Strickland. I personally had it for Strickland as well, but I think this fight with Dricus kind of having already felt Sean Strickland's fighting style in the octagon, I think he'll have an easier time figuring out the puzzle of Sean Strickland, because I feel like he's the faster, he's a stronger fighter. He has better grappling. Even though he's a little bit sloppy on the feet, I do think that he will make the adjustments needed to kind of give Sean Strickland more of a challenge. I'm not saying necessarily he'll win, but I think it'll be much more of a challenge and much more of a war than it was in the first fight. And with Sean Strickland's defense and his fundamental striking, I think he'll play much of the same game that he did in the first time. I don't really see him making much of a difference. If anything, maybe he'll throw a little bit more volume, or maybe he'll go for more power punches instead of just teeps and jabs. But I kind of see Sean Strickland sticking to the same game plan. I don't know like how much more he can evolve, especially we saw with Paulo Costa. Like he didn't do much different in that fight. He just teeped and jabbed his way to the decision. I kind of see him doing something similar in this, but I don't know if he'll get the decision necessarily again. Maybe if it does, I feel like if it does go to decision, Sean Strickland will have the volume advantage, maybe, but with his staph infection on his arm, which is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video in the first place, like, because I saw his staph infection and I was like, well, like this kind of changes my pick a lot, because I think that will affect his cardio. I think that'll affect his ability to like be able to throw as much volume as will be needed to win this fight. But we kind of saw with Murad, that's not always the case, but he is a lighter fighter. So we'll see if like Sean Strickland at middleweight will be able to like be unfazed by the antibiotics needed to reduce the staph infection. But if Strickland does play the volume game and he's able to maintain his cardio throughout the 5 rounds, I can see him winning this with the decision. But I kind of see this fight ending a bit earlier, and if it does end early, I see Dricus kind of like getting another submission like he did with Adesanya. I don't see him knocking out Strickland because Strickland has like a granite chin. Um, I see him taking it to the ground and either getting his back or something and like choking him out. But if not, I see Strickland. If it goes to the decision, I can see Strickland making the necessary adjustments to get the decision. So I'm leaning towards Strickland by decision just because their first fight was so close. I think this will be a little bit similar, but I think Dricus will be a little bit more desperate to finish the fight because of what people were saying last time. And I think that will make maybe him expose his gas tank a bit more. And hopefully he gasses out and Strickland's able to kind of just put the pace on him. So I got Strickland winning by decision. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know who you guys got this weekend. Even what you think about this card. I've heard mixed opinions about it. I've heard it's underrated. I've heard it's trash. So just let me know what you guys think. Next week, me and Larry, we should have a video coming out where we're going to kind of go over our favorite and least favorite fighters in every division. But as for this video, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.